Ladies and gentlemen, it is Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran, and today we are taking a look at some footage from the Russian Ministry of Defense of their Su-25s flying a combat sortie over Ukraine. Let's get into it. So these are, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because it's just the engine whine. You can see their rocket pods firing. This says that the Su-25 is a close air support aircraft. That means that it is meant to operate in close coordination with ground forces. This is in contrast to a deep strike aircraft that's designed to engage enemy targets way deeper into enemy territory than friendly ground forces can see or shoot. You also have things that are called SADEs, or like suppression of enemy air defenses. That is also an aircraft that's meant to engage and destroy enemy air defense systems, not necessarily support ground troops. So the Su-25, I believe, is subsonic. It's sort of analogous in this video. It says to the A-10. But it also says, the Russian Ministry of Defense says this is hitting a Ukrainian munitions depot, which isn't really a CAS mission unless there's like ground forces trying to seize it. But what's interesting is, first off, you can see them flying very, very low. And this is in significant contrast to U.S. Air Forces, which will provide their CAS from a way, way, way higher elevated position. This may be a function of the fact that U.S. CAS will expect to be in continual contact with forces on the ground, and that those forces on the ground have so many methods to mark potential targets. They can use their lasers. They can use their tracer fire. They can use smoke grenades. They can provide a grid coordinate. They can even provide a distance and direction from known friendly forces. For example, you say, hey, do you see our IR beacons flashing? The pilot will say yes. They will go, okay, enemy contact is, 300 meters from us, either to the northeast, or you could even say 300 meters from us at a bearing of, 013. And they'll say, oh, I see exactly what you're talking about. So Russian forces, in contrast, as we've pointed out, they have really limited and poor communications. They appear to have not very good markers or target markers. So it's not clear to me how close air support will coordinate with ground forces. I imagine it would be much, much clunkier. It would be, a squad asking their company, who asks their battalion, who asks their brigade, and the brigade passes the target along to the fixed wing air assets, or the Russian Air Force, and then it filters down all the way until they launch a mission to engage the target. This is in real contrast to, again, U.S. close air support, where you can take an Air Force asset and they will talk to that pilot will talk directly to a United States Army or Marine Corps squad leader on the ground. That's just a testament to the difference between the Russian sort of what they call stovepipe chain of command and the multi-service sort of joint operations at every level that characterize modern warfare in the U.S. military. I've personally seen this. Anyway, let's take a look. So you can see flying low and slow, and I hope those are guided rocket pods. I've heard some people say that they don't use guided rocket pods, but it's pretty clear what's happening. They're setting up on their attack run. They release the rocket pods, and then they're banking off to avoid enemy air defenses being able to get a lock on them. And they're continuing to fly extremely low and slow along with their wingman. Let's see if... Okay, yep, they both fire their volleys at the same time and then bank off. So, in my own experience, you have the Air Force assets can become very embedded, sometimes on a mission-to-mission basis. We've had JTACs, Air Force Joint Terminal Air Controllers, I think it's joint terminal air controllers embedded in our unit for specific missions where we knew we were going to have fixed wing assets on station. That, of course, those guys, while anyone can coordinate with aircraft, JTACs are going to be able to do so faster and way clearer. There's going to be way less debates, way less questions from the pilot or from us about what can be done. So, oh, okay, it says the S-8 is an unguided rocket. Okay, so yeah, that means that attack run is something that, you know, would have come out of like Vietnam, honestly. If you look at Vietnam, U.S. aircraft in Vietnam, this is what their attack runs would have looked like prior to smart bombs. This means, of course, when you have unguided weapons, it's also a liability. You have to sort of spray and pray, as you saw there, where you just sort of hope to get it generally in the right direction, whereas smart weapons will hit the exact point that you're targeting. It's a way more effective method. So, okay, he's deploying, he looks like he deployed flares and then fired his rockets. So the flares are generally to thwart heat-seeking weapons, probably ground forces, and then he's launching his next volley and again banking hard to try to thwart enemy missile systems, enemy air defenses. Yep, flares out, rockets away, and he banks. And they do a barrel roll for reasons that are not clear. So again, like we talked about, this whole unguided rocket spray and pray method of close air support, it's honestly, it's not the technology that'll allow for close air support. It's too imprecise, and good close air support, especially with guided munitions like the U.S. close air support platforms carry, is tremendously, tremendously more effective. You can get those airstrikes to hit as close as 300 meters from your position, and you will be safe because of just how precise those rounds are. In contrast, unguided rockets, you don't want to call close air support probably within about 600 meters of your position, just because of the error rate that these things can have. Yep. So all in all, guys, I think that was pretty interesting. Do me a favor, hit subscribe if you can. It's we're so close. We're so close to 100K. I would love to get that plaque. It would mean the world to me. Also, if you want me to break down some videos that are just a little too spicy for YouTube, become a member of the Patreon. Thanks so much for watching.